all the research that a scientist does, they do with the faculties of their mind, namely the faculties of thought and perception. And reality cannot be known through the mind, through thought and perception. So there's a lot that scientists can and obviously do with their minds. But the one thing that no scientist will ever do, and indeed no person will ever do, is know the nature of reality through the faculties of their mind. Why? Because our minds impose their own limitations on everything that they know or perceive. In other words, the mind looks at reality, but reality appears to that mind in accordance with its own limitations. Just as one who looks at snow through orange-tinted glasses, they are looking at the snow, but the snow will appear orange. Why? Because of the lens through which they perceive it. All science, and this may be true of most scientists, unlike the introspective ones like Don, who also meditate, but the vast majority of scientists investigate reality with their minds. It's the wrong tool. By the mind, I mean our conceiving and perceiving faculties. That's not to say that the work a scientist does with thought and perception is not valid. Of course, it's immensely valid, but it's not the right tool for researching reality. So that is why somebody who's not a scientist or doesn't use their mind in a scientific way, by scientific I mean the conventional definition of the word scientific, is equally qualified to explore the nature of reality as is someone with a scientifically trained mind.
So when people talk about the hard problem of consciousness, as they have done for decades, what's your take?
Yes, I think the days of the debate about the hard problem of consciousness are numbered. There is no hard problem of consciousness. What's really interesting is the hard problem of matter. And that's a really interesting question. The hard problem of consciousness is like the problem of how screens are generated by movies, how the sky is generated by clouds, how the ocean is generated by waves. That's the hard problem of consciousness. The answer is it's not. It's based on a massive assumption, namely that matter is the fundamental reality of the universe, and as Don very well described, the hard problem of consciousness, that matter eventually gives rise to consciousness. It's in time. I think in the not too distant future, we will view this perspective in the same way that we now look back on the flat Earth theory or the geocentric universe theory, the theory that the sun travels around the Earth. The idea that matter is the fundamental reality of the universe and gives rise to consciousness will find its place alongside these kinds of ideas. So, but what's really interesting, if consciousness is the fundamental reality, how then does the apparently physical world contained in time and space, how does that arise from consciousness? That's the hard problem of matter. That's a really interesting question.